Hi everyone, and welcome back to our weekly roundup of the cryptocurrency market on behalf of Apex Signals. As you can see from the chart here on the screen, after a few tough weeks, we're sitting at a higher market capitalization than we were this time last week, which is a positive given the recent run. So we're on Saturday morning. We're at roughly 270 billion overall market cap. We were around 255, 254 this time last week. The week high was on Wednesday, where we hit 277 billion. We've had slight slides since then, but over the last 48 hours or so, there's been relatively mild fluctuation in the market. So the question really now is, can we push on and start heading back towards that 300 billion level, or are we going to run out of steam over the weekend and start sliding back again? And there's been quite a lot of commentary this week from different market participants that they expect a new bull run to start gathering at some point. The question really is when, whether it's something that will happen over summer, or whether it might be into autumn before we start to see a rally. There's some positive news this week which came out of Switzerland. So SIX, which is the company behind the Swiss stock exchange, essentially the equivalent of the London Stock Exchange, or NYSE. So they are in the process of putting together a professional level cryptocurrency exchange trading platform. So the difference here is, of course, we have plenty of cryptocurrency exchanges, but we don't have a major player from the mainstream financial markets so far in the mix. And of course, the big hope in the market is for institutional investors to start coming in, and SIX are building their platform on blockchain, which is of course appropriate for a cryptocurrency exchange, but the kind of infrastructure that will be behind the exchange will be more, it will resemble the kind of facilities that the major stock markets have. So that include things like deal settlement and asset custody services and so on. So that's certainly a positive development. At the moment, they're talking about the beginning of 2019 in terms of rolling out the first services, and then building from there. But it's certainly something that can be taken as a positive development. And when the CEO was, or chief executive, I can't remember which title exactly it was talking this week when the announcement was made. His reasoning was that digital assets and cryptocurrencies, they believe, are here to stay. So it's very interesting to see a major stock exchange taking that position, and definitely heartening in terms of the overall future prospects of the market over the next year or two. So let's have a quick look now at Bitcoin, what's been happening. Oh, sorry, that's Neil Cardano. There we go, Bitcoin. So we're up at about $6,645 at the moment. Like the rest of the market, or most of the rest of the market, the peak was for the week was Wednesday, when prices were up above 6,770, and we've had a slight dip since then. No major news around Bitcoin this week, but just to touch on the general price movement. NEO was the major cryptocurrency that had the biggest sorry to find the chart. This always seems to happen. It's the last one that I get to. The biggest fluctuation this week among the major cryptocurrencies was NEO, and although it's dropped a little bit the last couple of days, it had gained over 30% in the few days up until Thursday. So it was around 32%, I think, and we can see here we had an 8% rise between Wednesday and Thursday. Then there was a correction of about 8% between Thursday and Friday after that big gain, but the week gain is still around 30%. What's been behind that has been a Wednesday, I think it was Wednesday, could possibly have been Tuesday, announcement that the blockchain, the NEO mainframe, is being moved over to a decentralized blockchain platform. Now, NEO is, as many of you will know, a Chinese smart contract and DApp blockchain, and a lot of I'm personally a fan. I have some NEO, and really it's good technology, but the biggest plus is the support of the Chinese market, and from the beginning it's been positioned as a Chinese alternative to Ethereum. And of course the domestic market in China does tend to move towards Chinese products in the digital space, and of course it's a huge market, so it's certainly one to keep an eye on. It's dropped significantly from where it was in the last few months. I think on April we were up at around $90 here, and $30, and now at the beginning of July we're up to around 37 at the moment. So considering where we've dropped from over the last couple of months, there should definitely be some upward movement in NEO, or upside, should the market start to rally again. And finally today, let's have a quick chat about Cardano. We talked about Cardano last week. Now, Cardano was the guy behind Cardano is Charles Hoskinson, who was of course involved heavily with Ethereum at the beginning with Vitalik, and he left Ethereum as a result of differences of opinion in terms of the underlying technology. Hoskinson believed there were some significant limitations, especially around scalability, and Cardano was put together as a next generation cryptocurrency, if Bitcoin is considered the first generation and Ethereum and peers are considered the second generation. Now, an interesting thing about Cardano is that there's absolutely no elements of the original open source Bitcoin code within the protocol, so it was made completely from scratch. A lot of people are very impressed with the underlying technology around Cardano. It's been under the radar a little bit over the last several months, and hasn't gained a huge amount of publicity. There was a cryptocurrency expert on CNBC the other week, who is the host of Cryptocurrency Africa. Oh, you can hear my dog there, she's barking at people in the corridor. So he stated that he believed that Cardano was possibly the most undervalued of all of the cryptocurrencies out there currently. This week, Hoskinson met Google in London at their invitation, and there was apparently an extensive meeting around discussing possible joint interests in exploring partnerships around technology advancements that Cardano represent, and possible applications within the Google or Alphabet stables. So that's definitely one to keep an eye on. There's not been any information on concrete details at the moment, but anything around that which comes out in the next days, weeks or months could significantly boost Cardano. That's pretty much it for this week. There hasn't been any huge developments other than those we have mentioned. Hopefully we can see markets push on now over the weekend and into the beginning of next week, and not lose steam again. And I'll look forward to speaking to you again next week. In the meantime, successful trading, and of course drop a comment down below if there's anything you'd like me to discuss next week specifically. Okay, bye for now.